What happens when a player with high hopes and a famous last name can't quite find their footing on the ice? That's the question swirling around the Toronto Maple Leafs as they make a tough decision regarding one of their forwards. After a brief stint that didn't live up to the hype, he's now on waivers. Stick around to find out the latest on this surprising move and what it means for the team's playoff aspirations. If you want to stay updated on all things Maple Leafs, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. Alex Nylander is back in the headlines, and not for the reasons we hoped. The Toronto Maple Leafs have placed him on waivers after a brief, yet disappointing stint with the team. Nylander, at 26, was called up from the AHL on November 22, hoping to bring some spark alongside his brother, William. It was a story that had fans excited, but the reality turned out to be quite different. In his 5 games with the Leafs, Nylander didn't register a single point, finished with a -1 rating, and averaged just .953 of ice time per game. It's a far cry from the impressive 8 goals and 12 points he racked up in 14 games in the AHL before his call-up. It's tough to watch a player with potential struggle, especially when you know he has the talent. He was the 8th overall pick in the 2016 draft, after all. But his NHL career has been marred by inconsistency, bouncing around teams like Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Columbus, and with just 25 goals and 49 points over 126 games, it's clear he hasn't found his stride. Sure, some might argue that this was his chance to shine in Toronto, the chance to play with his brother, and he simply didn't seize it. But is it really that simple? The pressure of playing in Toronto is immense, and being on a deep team with playoff aspirations can make it even tougher for a player trying to find his footing. It's not that Alex is a failure, he's just been inconsistent. With Nylander gone, the Leafs now have the opportunity to make some moves. This opens the door for them to activate a player from injured reserve, likely either Bobby McMann or Jake McCabe. Plus, I can't help but notice that they've also placed Dakota Mermis on waivers. Mermis hasn't played for the Leafs this season, and while he did manage 3 goals and 5 assists in 47 games with Minnesota last year, it seems they're looking to shake things up. Now, let's talk about the implications for the team moving forward. The Leafs are in a position where every decision counts as they aim for a deep playoff run. With Nylander's departure, we have to wonder how that will affect team chemistry and depth. Will this allow for a more cohesive unit, or will it leave a gap that needs to be filled? I have to say, I'm torn about this move. On one hand, it's clear that Nylander wasn't fitting in, and sometimes, shaking up the roster is necessary to find that perfect combination. On the other hand, it's hard not to feel for a player who came in with such high hopes but couldn't translate that into production at this level. So, what's next for the Leafs? They've got to be strategic. The deadline for trades is always looming, and with Nylander now off the board, they might be looking at other options to strengthen their lineup. Can they find someone who can step in and contribute immediately? Or will they rely on internal solutions to fill the void? And for the fans, what does this mean for our hopes and dreams? Will we see the Leafs make a significant move that propels them to playoff success? Or are we just going to continue to watch this roller coaster unfold? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you believe this was the right decision? I, for one, am wrestling with my feelings on it. Anthony Stolarz is making waves as a standout performer for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season, and I can't help but feel excited about what this means for our team. After an impressive game against the New Jersey Devils, where he saved 38 out of 39 shots, it's clear he's not just a reliable goaltender, he's potentially the best in the league right now. His performance that night was nothing short of spectacular, leading the Leafs to a hard-fought 2-1 overtime victory. With a league-leading save percentage of .928, Stolarz is firmly putting himself in the conversation for the Vezina Trophy. Let's take a moment to appreciate what Stolarz has brought to our team. He's not just filling a roster spot, He's elevating the entire goaltending situation for Toronto. This is a guy who has faced his fair share of adversity, injuries, limited opportunities, and even being overlooked by other teams. But here he is, thriving in the spotlight of the Maple Leafs, proving all the doubters wrong. It's incredible to see how he's blossomed under the pressure, and let's not forget, he did this in front of 40 friends and family members. What a story! I think we have to give credit to General Manager Brad Treliving for assembling this dynamic goaltending duo with Stolarz and Joseph Woll. With a combined cap hit of just $3.2 million, the Leafs have not only found a reliable tandem but one that allows for financial flexibility as we head towards the trade deadline. This gives Treliving the freedom to potentially add more depth to our forward lines. You have to wonder, what could this mean for our playoff chances? Now, I have to ask, do you believe this was the best decision for the team? I'm honestly torn because while it feels great to have such strong goaltending, you also want to see the team bolster its offensive capabilities. The chemistry between Stolarz and Woll is undeniable, and it seems like they are feeding off each other's confidence. That's something we haven't seen consistently in past seasons. As fans, we should be excited about the future. Stolarz embodies the calm and collected demeanor needed to thrive in Toronto, and he's shown time and again that he can handle the pressure. His ability to bounce back after tough games is impressive, especially considering he was coming off 2 consecutive losses. The way he stepped up against his former coach's team shows he's not just here to play, he's here to win. I can't help but feel that the combination of Stolarz's talent and Woll's potential gives us one of the strongest goaltending setups in the league. It's refreshing to see a team that's finally addressing a long-standing issue in net. With the right pieces in place, I genuinely believe we could make a deep playoff run this year. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are you as optimistic about our goaltending situation as I am? I can sense the excitement building around this team. Stolarz has become more than just a player. He's a beacon of hope for Maple Leafs fans everywhere. His journey is a testament to perseverance, and it's so satisfying to watch. But we need to keep the momentum going. So, what's next for our boys? With the trade deadline approaching, will we see any moves that could further enhance our chances? Or will we stick with what's working? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Are you excited about Stolarz and Woll? What do you think the Leafs should do next to build on this success? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single moment of this thrilling season. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your expectations and frustrations in the comments below. I can't wait to read what you all have to say.